So basically, as we all know, there's a huge climate crisis going on at the moment. The world is basically falling apart and we need to do something about it. Now, one thing that a lot of people aren't picking up on is one of the biggest things we can do on a personal level is to change our diet. The meat and dairy industries and just the whole of animal agriculture in general is one of the biggest destructive forces on this planet. It's producing more CO2 than all of the world's transport combined. The water usage, the land usage is all crazy. And also, we do forget sometimes that there are other victims in this, which are the animals involved in these industries. So we're here to also represent them as well, and obviously try and bring to light the conditions that they're being brought up in these farming industries, and then obviously the impact that the farming industries are then having onto the planet.
In terms of who's responsible for this, is it an individual responsibility or is it much wider?
Well, I mean, ultimately, the most powerful thing we can do is obviously look at ourselves and see what we can change first. But also, the people that are going to give the biggest systematic change is the government, and we need to put pressure on them to start bringing these things into law. We need to stop the sale of meat and dairy and stuff, and kind of more encourage people to adopt a plant-based diet rather than just relying on people to do it. Because ultimately, we're all in a habit that we've been in since the day we were born. It's completely normalised to us. And we need to break that habit, and we need their help to help everyone get on board with that. So by putting pressure on them and also taking responsibility ourselves, hopefully we can solve the problem.
One thing I've got to ask, because I've got to play devil's advocate
sure.
for this, but someone just said to me actually that it's easier to give up meat than it is to stop driving your car. And that's a kind of easy thing that you can do, for example.
Yeah.
But of course there are repercussions on that. We've got a huge meat and dairy industry in the UK, and obviously that's going to have an impact on people's livelihoods. What would you like to see change to the extent, or how would you like to see it change so that perhaps that doesn't have such a big impact, or maybe that doesn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if we're thinking about this from the animal's point of view, we should always look from the victim's point of view. And these animals are obviously being exploited, going to slaughterhouses and stuff. And as much as obviously we don't want people to be out of jobs and we don't want other people to suffer, because that goes against the whole ethos of what we're about, unethical practices need to stop no matter what the ties are. For example, we wouldn't be saying, we can't shut down bullfighting because we're worried about the matadors and the merchandising around bullfighting, you see. Luckily, this problem isn't going to be something that's going to be solved overnight. It's going to be a slow process where we're going to be able to phase this out, and hopefully, if the government gets on board, they can put in some schemes and things to help farmers transition. I mean, we still need farmers. We just don't want them to farm animals, we want them to farm plants.
We talked a lot about animal cruelty and thinking about the animals, but on the wider issue of climate change, how concerned are you really? How dramatic is this? Because I don't think the message is getting out there so much that actually this is a huge problem, and that's why so many people are occupying London today.
Yeah, well, I actually read a report, I think it was only yesterday, where some scientists are actually saying that the tipping point as far as ocean temperatures has already surpassed, and that is very worrying. I mean, it's not so much going to be a big impact on someone like myself and people of our generation, but if we're looking for our kids and grandchildren, what kind of world do we want to bring them up into? And just say climate change is completely a hoax, which some people like to say. Isn't it best that we try and move towards it anyway and not risk this happening? Because ultimately it's still going to bring us to a better world regardless. We're still going to lower our emissions, we're going to be a more healthy society, a more kind and compassionate society. So yeah, I think it's something that everyone really needs to get on board, because we've only got one planet, and if we screw it up, then we're all gone.
That's a lovely way to put it. And then finally, kind of what are you guys actually physically here for? What are you going to be doing? And talk to me about the atmosphere that's here. We've heard in the news that there have been like hundreds of arrests already and things like that. I know not just to do with this, but the wider rebellion that's going on today. But I want to hammer it home actually what the atmosphere really is like this, and it's not about fighting the police, is it?
No, it's about people coming together to basically save the planet. It sounds like a big thing, like we're superheroes or something, but that's generally what it is. It's just people that care, people that just want to come here, and there's a big atmosphere of unity and love and support and compassion. And in the end, this is a non-violent direct action campaign. We're not looking to start fights with people, we're not looking to do anything like that. It's very love-based. We just want people to take notice. We want people to realise this is serious, listen to what we've got to say, and hopefully everyone goes home and no one's locked in cells and, having to go to court the next day or whatever. So yeah, really this is about everyone coming together for a common goal to help the animals, the planet, and help ourselves.